AITA for ignoring my ex who begged to come back right after rejecting my proposal? So I, 29, proposed to my girlfriend Courtney, 27, a few months ago, and she told me she needed time to think. Buckle up because this story is completely crazy and I still have a hard time processing it all. We met at my buddy Marcus's housewarming party 3 years ago. She was friends with his girlfriend, and I remember thinking she was completely out of my league. But we hit it off immediately and started dating. The first 2 years were great. We took road trips, we had our inside jokes, everything was going well. About 8 months into our relationship, I got her an orange cat, a little guy named Leo that she became crazy about. I had put him in a small box with a red ribbon around his neck. When he jumped out of the box, she thought it was the cutest thing and hugged me. That cat became our baby, and we bombarded each other with pictures of him doing silly cat things all day long. Last year, we moved in together into our apartment, and everything seemed perfect. We talked about our future, kids, a house, all of that. She started dropping huge hints about marriage, Instagram posts of rings, wedding TikToks, talking about her friends getting engaged. So, I set aside 3 months of salary and bought a princess cut ring, the one I thought she would like. I booked a table at Giovanni's, an Italian restaurant she talked about all the time, and I invited our close friends to come after for a surprise party. I was super nervous but also really excited, but when I got down on one knee to ask for her hand, she just stood there frozen with a weird look on her face. "I need time to think about it," she finally said. The restaurant went silent. I felt like a complete idiot on my knee with the box in my hand. In the car on the way home, she finally spoke. "The ring isn't exactly what I wanted. I showed you the one from Tiffany's with the bigger diamond. And Giovanni's isn't really romantic, Brandon." "Yes, that is me by the way. I should have said that earlier, LOL. I was completely lost. She literally was the one who sent me pictures of that style of ring, and she was the one who talked nonstop about Giovanni's. But I tried to be understanding. "I can exchange the ring if that is the problem," I told her. "It is not just the ring," she replied, looking out the window. "I just think we should wait a little longer, to be sure we are really ready." When we got home, she went straight to bed. She didn't even want to talk about it. I slept on the couch with Leo curled up on my chest, wondering what had just happened. The next day, she acted like nothing happened. She just told me in a light tone, "Maybe we can talk about the engagement again in a few months when you have a better plan." Then she kissed me before leaving for work like everything was fine. I spent the whole day replaying it all in my head. What better plan did she want? I had done exactly what she had been talking about for months. That evening, I tried to bring it up again, but she cut me off. "Can we not make a big deal out of this? I just want a little more time." "Is that so bad?" I didn't push it, but something felt wrong. Courtney had always been very direct about what she wanted. This hesitant behavior was not like her. And over the next week, I started noticing little things. She spent a lot more time on her phone, smiled while reading messages, but tilted the screen so I couldn't see anything. She took calls in another room, worked late more often. Nothing blatant, just details that did not add up. I did not know exactly what I was looking for, but everything inside me was screaming one thing. Something was wrong, and I was not going to sit around waiting to be blindsided. When I asked her if everything was okay between us, she got defensive. "My God, just because I didn't say yes right away, you think there is a problem? You are getting paranoid." Maybe I was, but I could not shake that feeling in my gut. And then things got weird. One night, I was petting Leo when Courtney's phone lit up on the coffee table. I was not trying to snoop, but I saw the name Justin with a message preview. "Can't wait for Friday, our usual spot." When I asked who Justin was, she grabbed her phone quickly. "Just a coworker. We are having a team lunch on Friday." I nodded, but my mind was racing. Courtney had never mentioned to Justin before, and "our usual spot" did not sound like a team lunch. "You know what?" I said calmly. "I think you are right about the ring. I will take it back this weekend, and we can pick another one out together." On the surface, I was calm, but inside I was already drawing the battle lines. After seeing that message from Justin, my brain went into high alert. She didn't know it yet, but I had just laid the first trap. No more playing the naive boyfriend. This was a situation I needed to understand fully. She looked relieved. "That sounds perfect, honey," she said before kissing me and going to take a shower. I sat on the couch with a sick feeling in the pit of my stomach, trying to figure out what she was up to. The next day, I texted my best friend. Marcus, we need to talk. It is about Courtney. We met up over a few beers, and I told him everything that had happened. He just listened, then said, honestly, man, I don't want to jump to conclusions, but this does not look good. The Courtney I know would have been thrilled that you proposed. Something is off. Do you think she has been hiding something? I asked. Marcus shrugged. I don't know, man, but the timing is weird. She nags you for a ring for months. You finally propose, and suddenly she wants to think about it, and now she is getting secret messages from some guy you have never heard of. Put together, it did sound really bad. But this was Courtney. 3 years together, we lived under the same roof. We had a cat. She was not going to throw it all away like that, right? So what do? I asked. Keep your eyes open, Marcus told me. Do not accuse her of anything yet, but observe. So that is what I decided to do. Keep my eyes open. Try to understand what was really going on. Little did I know what I was about to discover. I decided to work from a local coffee shop near our apartment. Courtney never went there. She said their coffee was overpriced. So it was a safe spot to hang out without risking running into her. I was settled in a corner with my laptop, headphones on without listening to anything, when I heard a familiar laugh. I looked up and saw Courtney walk in with her friend Kayla. They did not see me because of the large plant next to my booth. I was about to call out to them when I heard my name. They sat right behind me, and Courtney was speaking in a tone that immediately caught my attention. He really thought I was going to say yes just like that, Courtney said before bursting out laughing. But it wasn't her usual laugh, the one that was soft and warm. No, this one was cold, like she was laughing at a joke I would never understand. Kayla gave an awkward little laugh. And now what are you going to do? You can't play this game forever. Courtney leaned back in her chair, sipping her latte like she had all the time in the world. Please, Brandon isn't going anywhere. He is so desperate to marry me. He would propose with a candy ring if I asked him to. I have him in the palm of my hand. I just need to keep stalling him until the right time. Kayla hesitated. And Justin? Courtney's eyes lit up. Justin is worth the wait. He is not making an average salary like Brandon. He is a real man with real potential. Once his situation is sorted out, Brandon is history. I will end things with him. She laughed again, a dry, satisfied laugh. He will probably be devastated. Pathetic, right? My stomach flipped. Leo, our cat, wasn't just an animal. He was family, and she was using him as a joke. Kayla lowered her voice. What if Brandon proposes again before you are ready to make a move? Courtney shrugged as if it were nothing. Then I will do what I have to do. I will say yes. I will go along with it for a while, and I will end things later. By then, Justin and I will be ready. It will be a little messy, but whatever. It is not my problem if Brandon's heart gets broken. It is his own fault. He is too naive. Kayla looked uncomfortable, but Courtney did not seem to notice or care. She strutted around like she was the queen of a game where I was just a pawn. Brandon is nice, but let's be honest, she added with a soft laugh. He is just a safety net. It is good to have one, but not necessary when you are ready to upgrade. Those words hit me like a punch. I felt like I was looking at a stranger, someone I thought I knew but didn't recognize at all anymore. That is a bit harsh, isn't it? Kayla murmured. Oh, please, Courtney replied with a sneer. You know very well this was never meant to last. Brandon was always a placeholder. A placeholder? What did that mean? They changed the subject after that, talking about an office party. I heard a guy's name, Justin, I think, but I didn't catch the details. When they got up to leave, Kayla lingered a bit. Her gaze swept the room and stopped on me. She saw me sitting there. Her eyes widened as if she wasn't sure she recognized me. She hesitated, then continued toward the exit, but not before whispering as she walked by, "You deserve better." I did not move. I just met her eyes and replied calmly, "I already know." Her face tightened as if she wanted to say more, but Courtney was already calling her. Kayla gave me a quick, apologetic wave before following her out. When they finally left, I sat there for a long time trying to process what I had just heard. Courtney was planning something, a scheme that involved keeping me on the hook, then ending things. And who exactly was this Justin? I had more questions than answers, but one thing was clear. The woman I thought I was going to marry was hiding deep secrets from me. I texted Marcus. Man, you were right. I overheard something messed up. We need to talk. We met at his place in the afternoon. When I told him what I had overheard, he looked furious. Man, I wasn't going to say anything, he confessed. but I saw Courtney with a guy at the large shopping mall across town last week. They looked close. The mall was on the other side of town. She had told me she was getting drinks with coworkers near the office. Marcus looked uncomfortable. They didn't look like just coworkers. Man, the way she was looking at him. Did you catch a name? I asked. Could it be Justin? Marcus shrugged. I wasn't close enough, but the guy had a luxury watch, a nice suit, finance bro type, you know? We talked for hours. Marcus finally gave me the reality check I needed. Look, I don't know exactly what is going on, but clearly something is wrong. You need to keep your eyes open. Do not just believe everything she tells you anymore. It hurt to hear, but deep down, I knew he was right. The rejected proposal, the late nights at work, the secret texts, the conversation I had overheard, everything pointed to something shady. So what do? I asked. You have two options, Marcus told me. Either you confront her now with what you know, even if it is not much, or you play along. You find out what she is really up to. Then, you decide what to do with it. I thought about it all night. Was I capable of acting like everything was fine while trying to uncover what Courtney was hiding? The emotions, yeah, they were there, tearing me up inside. But I wasn't going to let them break me. Not yet. It was time to put on my armor, keep a cool head, and figure this out. If she wanted to turn this relationship into something deceptive, then I was ready to understand the full picture. The next morning, Courtney asked if I was ready to go ring shopping this weekend. I smiled and said, of course. I found a few options at Tiffany's. Could we go take a look? She looked thrilled, hugged me tight, and told me I was the best. I had never felt so empty, but my mind was made up. I had to know exactly what I was dealing with, how far this went, and if there was anything left to save. Marcus thought I was being too careful, that it was better to confront her right away and be done with it. Maybe he was right, but after 3 years together, I needed to understand what had happened to us, because if I confronted her, she wouldn't tell the truth anyway. So, I decided to play the perfect boyfriend for a while, let her think everything was fine, and find out who this Justin was and exactly what Courtney was planning. I checked our cell phone bill. There was a number she called and texted constantly, especially late at night or when I was at work. It wasn't saved under any name, just an unknown number. Then I got lucky. Courtney fell asleep on the couch one night, unlocked phone in her hand. Her comments about me being a placeholder and her needing a few more months were swirling in my head. So I looked. What I found was worse than anything I had imagined. Dozens of messages with someone named Justin. The content showed an inappropriate level of closeness, with lots of I miss yous and inside jokes that I wasn't a part of. Then I stumbled upon a message that hit me like a freight train. I just need to keep Brandon hooked until everything is finalized. He is already talking about proposing again. Justin had replied. And what if he does before we are ready? Courtney, I will say yes. I will go along with it. Then I will end things once your situation is sorted. He will be crushed, but that is not my problem. We have dragged this out for too long. I felt sick. She was planning to accept my proposal just to end things later. What kind of plan was this? And why? I kept scrolling through the messages and pieced the puzzle together. Justin worked at the same company as Courtney in a higher position. There were hints about a situation that had to be finalized before they could be together publicly. I assume he is married or there is an internal policy against coworkers dating. The worst part, they were planning a trip to Miami next month, the exact same week Courtney told me she had a work conference. She was literally going to be on a beach with this guy while I was at home planning our future. I wanted to confront her on the spot, wake her up, and spill everything. But something held me back. If I confronted her too early, she would find a way to turn it around, play the victim, make me doubt myself, deny, lie, and maybe even delete the evidence before I could show anyone. She was already manipulating the situation. If I tipped her off, she would just get more careful. I wasn't going to give her that advantage. No, I needed solid proof, a plan, something that would leave no room for her to twist the facts. She wanted to control the narrative. I was going to uncover the full truth. So, I took screenshots of everything, then put her phone back exactly as I found it. The next day, I called Marcus. He came over while Courtney was at work, probably with Justin actually, and I showed him everything. Holy cow, he blurted out while scrolling through the screenshots. That is calculated, man. She has been playing you from the start. But why? I asked. Why not just end things? Why make me go through a proposal again just to hurt me later? Marcus thought for a moment. According to these messages, this Justin is clearly her real focus, but he isn't available yet. You are just the backup plan until he is. The backup plan, the safety net, the transitional guy. You need to be smart about this, Marcus said after a while. She is planning to blindside you. So prepare yourself. I am not the vindictive type, but in that moment, something inside me snapped. After seeing those messages, the way she talked about me, the future they were planning while I was saving up for ours. Yeah, I decided to play the long game. So, I kept pretending everything was fine. I talked about our future. I started planning a second proposal. All while I was getting my affairs in order, transferring half of our savings to a new account she had no access to, looking for a new apartment, and documenting everything in case she tried to turn our friends against me later. I also did some digging on Justin. Turns out he is the marketing director at Courtney's company, her boss's boss. And guess what? He is married with 2 kids. His situation to finalize? According to their messages, it is actually his divorce that has supposedly been almost done for months. The hardest part was acting normal. Every time Courtney kissed me or talked about our future, I had to restrain myself from confronting her. Every time she said she was working late, she was with him. I just replied, "Miss you, babe," and brought her favorite takeout when she got home. Leo was my companion through all of this, the only one who didn't lie to me. You can say a lot of things about people, but cats are always honest. That cat would look at me with his sad eyes when I was alone in the apartment, as if he knew his family was going to fall apart. I had already decided I was taking him with me when I left. Courtney didn't even change his litter box. She just posted cute pictures of him on Instagram to farm likes. Oh, and I found out something else interesting. Marcus's cousin works at the same company as Courtney. Apparently, Justin's wife has no idea he is planning to leave her. He has been telling Courtney his divorce has been almost done for months, but he hasn't even filed the papers yet. He is playing her just like she is playing me. So, I waited, I gathered more evidence, I prepared my exit. Courtney thought she was so smart, thinking I was just her backup plan while she secured her promotion. She had no idea what was coming for her, and I definitely wasn't going to spill the beans too early. If she wanted to play games with the truth, I was going to play too. I let her lead the dance, let her think she controlled everything, and that is how I ended up at Tiffany's smiling like the perfect boyfriend while she tried on diamond rings. But that ring session was a special kind of difficult. Courtney tried on about 20 before settling on a massive diamond that cost more than my car. I smiled and said it was perfect, that she deserved the best. She was glowing, kept kissing me in the store. "I can't wait to tell everyone," she said on the way home. "Kayla is going to be so jealous," she added. "I am sure she will be," I thought, especially when she finds out the truth. The jeweler told me the ring would take 3 to 4 weeks to be resized. Perfect timing, I told Courtney. That will give me time to plan a proposal you will never forget. She loved it. She started throwing out ideas, maybe on the beach or at that rooftop restaurant downtown. I nodded, saying all her ideas were great. That evening, she was particularly affectionate. The whole time, I was thinking about those texts to Justin, about how she planned to accept my proposal and then end things later. It took all my composure to keep playing my part. Speaking of Justin, I learned even more through Marcus's cousin. Justin has been at that company for 5 years. He runs the marketing department and has a reputation for being involved in workplace situations. He is telling Courtney he is almost divorced, but in reality, he hasn't even started the process. His wife thinks they are trying to save their marriage. They even went to couples therapy last month. Courtney has no idea she is getting played too. A part of me wanted to tell her everything. Watch her see her world collapse like mine did. But that would have ruined my plan. So I kept quiet and continued playing the love-struck boyfriend. A few days later, Courtney mentioned her work conference in Miami next month. "I am going to miss you so much," she said without looking me in the eyes. "But this is a huge opportunity for my career. I am proud of you," I replied. "Maybe I could come surprise you for the weekend." The look of panic on her face was priceless. "No. Well, we will have meetings all the time. You would be bored, and I would feel bad ignoring you." "You are right," I said. "I will just plan something special for when you get back." She relaxed immediately. So predictable. I had been playing up the romantic side lately. I left my laptop open one night on a custom jeweler's website, even fancier than Tiffany's. When Courtney saw it, her eyes went wide. "What is this?" she asked. "Crap, that was supposed to be a surprise," I said. "I know we picked out the Tiffany ring, but I was thinking maybe getting a custom one made. Something unique, like you." She literally melted. She told me I was the most thoughtful guy in the world, that she was so lucky. Then she sent a text while I was brushing my teeth. To Justin, obviously, to tell him how well her plan was working. The next day, I checked our joint account. She had withdrawn $2,000. "Girls' shopping trip," she said. "Yeah, right. Probably things for Miami with Justin." I didn't even care about the money anymore. I had already transferred most of my savings elsewhere. What mattered to me now was how easily she lied to me, how she planned to string me along a little longer, let me spend thousands on a ring, plan a proposal, all while building her new life with Justin. Marcus thought I was taking it too far. "Confront her and move on," he told me. This whole situation was messing with my head. Maybe Marcus was right, but every time I thought about dropping it all, that message hit me in the face. "I will say yes. I will go along with it. Then I will end things once everything is sorted with your situation." He will be crushed, but that is not my problem. No, I was going to see this through. If she planned to hurt me this way, she was in for a surprise. I was setting the stage for the second proposal scheduled for next month, right after her trip to Miami. The deposits were paid, invitations sent to our friends and families. Everyone was excited, especially her parents, who had always thought I was the perfect guy for their daughter. She thought she was going to enjoy her secret vacation with Justin, then come back to her safe, reliable Brandon, who was busy planning the perfect proposal. She had no idea what was really waiting for her. When she left for her work conference in Miami, she kissed me and promised to call every night. The grand act. I played my part. I helped her pack. I drove her to the airport. I told her how much I was going to miss her. The second she passed through security, I sprang into action. I had been preparing for this moment for weeks, and now it was time. I moved all my essential belongings to my new apartment. Not everything. That would be too suspicious when she got back. Just the necessities, documents, family keepsakes, electronics, and of course, Leo. I got him settled in the new place with all his favorite toys. Then I took decisive action. Remember Justin's wife? The one who was almost divorced but knew nothing about it? I had found her on Facebook weeks ago without ever contacting her. This time, I sent her everything. Screenshots of the messages between Courtney and Justin, their plans for Miami, the full timeline of their involvement, everything. She replied within hours, devastated but grateful. She told me Justin had done this before, that he was in couples therapy because of his last situation. She asked for my number, and we ended up talking for almost 2 hours. Turns out, Justin had told Courtney he was rich, but the truth is, his wife is the one with the money. Family wealth. She is a corporate lawyer. The house, the cars, the luxury vacations, it all comes from her. But here's where it gets interesting. Natalie, Justin's wife, decided she was done. While Justin was in Miami with Courtney, she emptied their accounts, changed the locks, and prepared divorce papers to serve him the minute he got back. But she wanted us to coordinate our actions for maximum impact. Those two deserve each other, she told me. But he also deserves to see exactly what they got themselves into. So, we made a plan. Justin and Courtney were returning on Sunday. My proposal was still scheduled for Tuesday night, but this time it was no longer a plan. It was a meticulously prepared moment of truth, like the final move in a high-stakes chess game. Everything was already in place. Timing, precision, execution. Courtney and Justin wouldn't know what hit them until the truth came out. And once revealed, it would be over. I booked a private room at the Reserve, an upscale restaurant in town. All our friends and family were supposed to be there to witness my proposal, except I had tweaked the guest list. I added Natalie. I canceled the string quartet and the champagne. Instead, I added a projector and a screen. Sunday night, Courtney came back from Miami, sporting a tan, bubbling with energy, full of stories about her so-called marketing seminars and professional networking. She showed me pictures of generic hotels as if I couldn't recognize a romantic getaway. I just smiled and said I was glad she had a good time. "I missed you so much," she lied. "Work trips are so exhausting. Get some good rest," I told her. "We have a big night on Tuesday, a celebration." Her eyes lit up. "The proposal?" I nodded. "I want to do it right this time, the way you deserve." She threw her arms around me, telling me how much she loved me. I forced myself to hold her, wondering how many times she had said those exact words to Justin that week. Monday and Tuesday were difficult. Faking it, listening to her talk on the phone with Kayla about what she was going to wear, how she was going to act surprised, all while finalizing the last details with Natalie and Marcus. Tuesday night finally arrived. I told Courtney I had to go to the restaurant early to make sure everything was perfect. She said she would meet me there. Kayla was coming over to help her get ready. What Courtney didn't know was that I had timed this all perfectly. According to their messages, Justin was supposed to be in a late meeting, but in reality, he was getting served divorce papers at his office around 6 p.m. Natalie made sure of it. I arrived at the reserve early. The manager was in on the real plan. Marcus's brother works there and helped us set everything up. The private room was ready, no rose petals or glasses of champagne. Instead, there was the projector, the screen, and enough chairs for everyone. Our friends started arriving around 7 p.m. I had told them there would be a surprise, but not what it was. She thought everyone was there for a proposal. Even Courtney's parents came. They had always treated me like a son. At 7:30 p.m., Courtney walked in, looking gorgeous in a new dress, probably bought with the $2,000 from our joint account. She looked confused seeing the layout of the room, but I guided her to a seat in the middle. "What is going on?" she asked, noticing there was no romantic table, just chairs facing a screen. "You wanted a proposal you would never forget," I replied. "That is exactly what I prepared." Then Natalie walked in. Courtney didn't know her and looked baffled. Marcus started the projector, and the screen displayed a slideshow titled, "The Real Story of Courtney and Justin." It started with their texts about me, the ones where she clearly said, "I will say yes, I will go along with it, then I will end things once everything is sorted." Next were pictures of their trip to Miami. Yes, Natalie had access to Justin's cloud. And it ended with screenshots showing Courtney withdrawing money from our joint account to fund it all. Courtney's face went from confusion to horror, then to anger. She lunged at the projector, but Marcus stopped her. "What is this?" she said, her voice rising. "Who are all these people?" "These are our friends," I answered calmly. "The ones you were going to celebrate our engagement with. And this is Natalie, Justin's wife. Not his ex-wife, his current wife." Courtney looked like she had been slapped. "You are lying. He is getting divorced." He showed me the papers. Natalie stepped forward. "The only divorce papers are the ones he got served an hour ago. And believe me, he won't get a dime. As for us," I continued, "I think it is clear there won't be a proposal tonight. Or ever." That is when Courtney became extremely upset. She started saying that I had set her up, that I had invaded her privacy, that I was being controlling. Our friends were frozen, in shock, as the slideshow looped back to the start. This time with new images, Courtney and Justin together. Then came those messages to Kayla where she said she was stringing me along until Justin was available. And finally, the text that ended it all. "Of course I don't love Brandon anymore. He is just my safety net until you are ready. Then I will break his heart." Her parents were devastated. Her mother was crying. Her father couldn't even look at her. "You ruined everything," she said, tears running down her cheeks. "No, Courtney, you ruined everything." She tried to turn our friends against me, claiming the texts were fake, that I was manipulating everyone. But right then, her phone buzzed. A text from Justin. "Courtney, we need to talk. Natalie knows everything. She is leaving me. I need a place to stay." I caught a quick glimpse. The timing couldn't have been more perfect. Courtney's face crumbled reading the message. She knew it was over. The manager came over because of the commotion. I apologized, settled the bill for the room, and told everyone they could stay for dinner on me, but that I had somewhere to be. As I was leaving, Courtney grabbed my arm. "Brandon, please, we can fix this. I made a mistake. I love you." I looked at her. "You love what I could provide. That is different." "And Leo?" she asked, as if the cat was her last bargaining chip. "He is very happy in my new apartment," I said. "And believe me, he does not miss you. You only cared about him for Instagram likes anyway." Then I walked out, leaving her there among our friends, her parents, and Natalie. I found out later that she had tried to follow me, but her own father stopped her, telling her she needed to face the consequences of her actions. Walking out of that room felt like putting down a weight I didn't even know I was carrying. The silence behind me was more deafening than her words. For the first time in months, I felt free. No more doubts, no more pretending, no more walking on eggshells. Just me, my dignity, and Leo waiting for me at home. Last I heard, Justin and Courtney are still together, but it is far from the fairy tale they imagined. Justin's divorce went through, but Natalie ruined him financially. Thanks to the prenup and proof of his involvement, he walked away empty-handed. Today, he lives in Courtney's tiny studio apartment, working as a salesman at a car dealership after getting fired for their office situation. Courtney tried to justify herself for weeks. She called me, texted me from different numbers until I had to get a restraining order. She even showed up at my work twice in tears, saying Justin had manipulated her. Security had to escort her out. The most difficult part, she posted everywhere that she was a victim of financial manipulation, that she needed help getting back on her feet. She claimed I had controlled all our money and left her with nothing. That version was quickly shut down after Kayla and several friends commented the truth. Finally, she reached out to my mother. They used to be close. She asked for help to get in touch with me. My mom replied, "You made your choices, now live with them." And the worst part, just the other day, I was chilling at home when my building's intercom started buzzing frantically. I checked the camera. It was Courtney in tears, calling my name. I didn't move. I just watched her mash the intercom like someone who had lost control. "Brandon, I know you are up there. Talk to me." She was calling out so loudly the neighbors started coming out. I let her make a scene for another minute before pressing the button to speak before I called the police. My voice was calm, almost bored. "You ruined my life," she sobbed. "Justin is cheating on me. He never loved me. I made a mistake. Just let me come up so we can talk." I almost laughed. "That sounds like a problem for you, Courtney, not for me." She started crying right there in front of my building. "Everything is falling apart. I have no job. We are getting evicted. I have no one." For a split second, I almost felt sorry for her. Almost. Then I remembered the texts, her plans to manipulate me, hurt me, leave me in pieces. "Goodbye, Courtney." And I cut the intercom, going back to my evening like she never existed. She stayed outside for another hour, alternating between calling out, crying, and begging. Finally, one of my neighbors actually called the police and they took her away. I added that incident to my police report the next day. As for Leo, he is doing great. I bought him a luxury cat tree for the apartment. He loves it. Courtney still occasionally posts old pictures of him on Instagram, pretending he is still with her. It is sad, really. But on to the good news. Remember Natalie, Justin's ex-wife? We stayed in touch after all of this. Nothing romantic at first, just two people processing similar betrayals. We grabbed coffee every couple of weeks, texted each other about our progress and moving on. She is truly amazing. Way too good for Justin. About 3 months ago, our coffees turned into dinners. Dinners turned into weekend hikes. Can you guess the rest? We have been officially dating for 2 months now. We are taking our time, rebuilding, but it is going really well. She is smart, brilliant, and above all, honest. We joke that we have the strongest possible foundation. We have already seen each other at our absolute worst and helped each other get back up. Marcus, my buddy who helped with the restaurant plan, thinks it is poetic. The two people they hurt ended up finding happiness together, he said. I wouldn't say it is that deep, but I am happier than I have been in a long time. I ran into Kayla at the grocery store last week. She told me Courtney got fired from her job and was trying to start some sort of social media consulting business. Apparently, it is not working at all. She also told me Courtney and Justin argue constantly. He resents her for not being as rich as Natalie, and she blames him for not being the golden ticket she thought she had scored. Sometimes I think back on what I almost did. Proposing a second time, buying that overpriced Tiffany's ring she wanted so badly. If I hadn't overheard that conversation at the coffee shop, if Marcus hadn't opened my eyes, I might be engaged to her right now, totally clueless about what was going on behind my back. Instead, I am sitting at home with my orange cat purring next to me and a dinner planned with Natalie tonight. Life takes weird turns sometimes. The important thing is to keep moving forward. I don't check Courtney's social media anymore. I don't ask our mutual friends for updates. She is just someone I used to know who taught me a valuable lesson about trust. Natalie and I have talked about what we would do if we ever ran into Courtney and Justin together. We decided we would smile at them, say hello, and keep walking. The best outcome isn't a spectacular scene. It is living well and being genuinely happy. Comment. Hey everyone, this story really stayed with me. I hope it gave you some things to reflect on, too. Your self-respect should always come first in any relationship. Learning to set strong boundaries is a powerful form of self-love. Real connection should bring you peace, not constant doubt and anxiety. Healing takes time, and that's completely okay. You're responsible for protecting your own heart and happiness. Choosing calm over chaos is one of the bravest things you can do for yourself. Keep choosing people who choose you back every single day. I'm genuinely rooting for you to find the kind of love that feels safe and real. If you like the stories, don't forget to leave a comment and support the channel by subscribing. See you in the upcoming stories.